Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Light of Insight. I'm your host, Nina, and I hope you're having a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening for wherever you are in the world. Yeah, it has been crazy in the world right now. Honestly, I'm feeling very emotional, wired in the head with what's been happening in the news, whether that being Iran and the fearless girls and women that are fighting for change and reforms throughout the country, or whether that being in the US with the struggle for women to have autonomy over our bodies and the government taking away abortion rights, different types of contraceptives. It's all so much. And I really just had this strong intuition to do a solo cast today and express that emotion and feeling with you all, because I'm sure that this kind of these collective emotions of fear, pain, anger, but also incredible strength and fearlessness is truly inspiring. And I'm definitely an emotional person. I can literally read one news article or watch one little clip on Instagram or TikTok of what's been happening and get so emotional. So I definitely feel it. And I hope that everyone has been keeping up with what's happening, because that's important, but also taking care of your emotional and mental well-being, because that is also equally important. So yeah, I just wanted to also talk a little bit about it being fall, and always with the change in season, I feel like there's a lot of shifts happening in the world. Like, summertime is such a beautiful time to celebrate growth, to reconnect with family and friends. And this is coming kind of from my perspective. I always see summertime, of course, having breaks from summer or having breaks from school, reconnecting with family and friends, being outside in nature, kind of celebrating what you have accomplished during the year. I think summer is such a great time for that kind of connection and celebration. But there was a sudden shift that I felt into fall season in Tokyo, where I am right now. And the shift really happened today. Because it is freaking cold outside. It was really hot last week. In the past few days, I was still having to sleep with an air conditioner on. But now it's it is cold. It is rainy and gloomy and chilly outside. So also, of course, the change in temperature signals that there is a change in season. But I also kind of wanted to think about how fall represents nostalgia and shifting into this new schedule and shifting into new challenges, because of course with school systems, when you start back from summer break into fall semester, it's a lot of meeting new people, starting new activities, starting new classes, meeting new people. So I definitely feel that energy right now, and it feels really amazing. But I think with that being said, shifting back into fall season, for me, there's just a lot happening in my mind. Again, like I said at the beginning, my head is wired right now with so many things that I'm excited to start. I'm in my third year of a PhD program, which it's rolling. The research is rolling, so I'm really excited about that. But I'm also working 2 jobs. I'm starting a really cool certification program next week. I am busy, of course, connecting with friends and family, and I love all of that stuff. But sometimes it all just feels like, whoof, just no time to breathe and no time to really sit down and reflect and be alone. But I really took some time today for myself after work and journaled, did some meditation, and really thought about the importance of self-care. And I think self-care, of course, that's a very trendy buzzword / concept. And I think a lot of us always are just like, yeah, let's go, hashtag self-care, treat yourself, like, let me buy this new purse and treat myself to a bottle of wine because it was a long ass week and I deserve it. Like, self-care. Yes, that can totally be a practice for you of self-care, but I want to sustain my self-care practices throughout a given day. And I was just thinking about this even more deeply because for the certification, I'm getting certified to become a Dharma life coach. And that will be something that I'll be talking more about on this podcast, which is super exciting. But part of the welcoming materials kind of discuss the importance of taking time for yourself when there's a lot of things happening in your life, a lot of information being thrown at you from work, school, media, the world. So it was a sheet that was given, and it kind of just listed out, it asked the question, what are you going to do to take care of yourself and nurture your energy? And I just really sat down with that question and loved it, because I think, again, for self-care, we think it's like just these moments that we sparsely get to receive if we work really hard and if we have that time, like an hour to ourselves at the end of the night. But how can we incorporate it on a daily basis and throughout a given day? So I really think that self-care, it is those little moments in a day that you treat yourself. It can be so many things. Like, it can literally be journal writing for 5 minutes in the morning before taking off to work. It can be calling that friend or family member that really grounds you and you can connect with and you can be very vulnerable with. It can be, this is a big one, setting a boundary, saying no to a event or some kind of plan where you know you're going to be really exhausted if you go. Setting that boundary and saying no can be a form of self-care. I don't know. I think that meditation and any form of meditating, like a yoga practice, a hypnosis, a therapy session even, anything that gets you into reflection is an amazing form of self-care. So I just really urge you all to think about that, because I certainly needed it today with how much I couldn't really calm down my mind, and just taking a step back and thinking about, okay, it's all going to be okay, because there's going to be moments in this day that I can take, that I can sit down and relax and calm my nervous system. So I also wanted to read a really important quote that relates to this as well, with kind of the jumbled thoughts that go on in your head when you're so busy and there's just a lot happening. And it's by one of my favorite spirituality books, and that's The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. I'll link that into the show notes. It's an amazing book. It really, really made me think differently about so many things in relation to ego, the inner critic, our mind, our thoughts. It's just a really incredible read, and I really think everyone should read it. But this is one of my favorite quotes in the book, and I have it highlighted in my Kindle. So Singer says, "You are not your thoughts. You are aware of your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You feel your emotions. You are not your body. You look at it in the mirror and experience this world through its eyes and ears. You are the conscious being who is aware that you are aware of all these inner and outer things. I'm going to read that one more time. You are not your thoughts. You are aware of your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You feel your emotions. You are not your body. You look at it in the mirror and experience this world through its eyes and ears. You are the conscious being who is aware that you are aware of all these inner and outer things. So I think reading that again today really made me relax a little bit, because when I get lost in my thoughts, I don't know about you all, we might relate with this, but when I get lost in my thoughts, I get very, very lost. And I think some might call it like intense daydreaming. I'm definitely like a daydreamer, but that's usually me getting like lost in thoughts. And I think it just is kind of nauseating at times as well. I don't know how you feel when you feel like very lost inside your head, but I kind of feel nauseous and I feel unpresent. I don't really know where I'm going, and I feel like a million tabs are open and I'm just trying to find the one that I need to like focus on in that moment. And during my meditation practice today, I just did like a 20-minute meditation, Vipassana meditation that I practice. I try to practice daily. We are trained to understand the difference of being lost in a thought compared to stepping outside and being the observer of that thought. So when Michael Singer is saying like, you are not your thoughts, you are aware of your thoughts. Boom, that's so true. We have the power to step outside and be the observer of all those crazy, critical, fearful, angry thoughts that are running around the mind, and take a step back and be like, okay, I can get out of this chaos when I need to. So that was very, very helpful for me today. Just again, I get overwhelmed sometimes with what happens or what is happening in the world, and on a global scale, and then of course on an individual level as well. So this is just a gentle reminder that do things that are really self-care motivated for yourself every single day. And that really, really depends on who you are and what you love and what grounds you, what really makes you feel lit up or relaxed, or whatever you need in that moment, whether it being something that's very grounding, you just want to be more of in a relaxed state, or that being like a joyful, light-filled pick-me-up. You can find something self-care related that will help you reach that state. So I think this is a great journal question for you all to think about and reflect on and write about. What will you do to take care of yourself and nurture your energy? What will you do to take care of yourself and nurture your energy? And for me, I listed some of them, but here I can list a little bit more of them. So I said eating healthy. It's a form of self-care. Drinking water, trying to get at least however many ounces you need in a day. Call my grandma or at least one family member a week and keeping connection. Doing yoga. That is really important for me. Different types of breath work. Breathing in for however many counts and breathing out for a certain amount of counts. Not looking at my phone 24/7. Yeah, I'm definitely getting better at that, but it's something I'm working on. Boundary setting, 100%. Journaling. Literally every time I journal for, even if it's just like 3 or 5 minutes, I feel immediately better, because what journaling helps you do is it helps you organize your thoughts. It helps bring your subconscious mind down, written in paper. It helps you take a step back and examine what is the issue and examine if it's based in reality. So, for example, I have a lot of inner critic, negative self-talk in my head, and that can be related to my PhD research. That can be related to a relationship issue I'm having. That can be related to literally any aspect of life. And if I write about it and I write about what my inner critic is saying, I can examine that belief, that limiting belief, and be like, wait, is that true? Usually it's not. And then I try to write down a positive affirmation underneath that and try to reprogram that into my brain. Okay, so journaling, meditating, which is just very important for me. And then also to be magnetic work that I've come and talked about a little bit on this podcast, but I can link that as well. To be magnetic work is just all these incredible workshops where the goal is for everyone to peel back their onion layers of the self and come back to their whole, worthy, authentic selves. And based on conditioning and programming in society, through family, through media, through whatever it is, we start to put on these masks that aren't us. We start to carry these negative, not truthful stories that aren't a part of us. So it really forces you to do a lot of journaling, do a lot of reprogramming, and try to get back to your most authentic, worthy being. And all of us are inherently, innately powerful, worthy, regardless of what our career is, regardless of what anyone says to you. We are all worthy and enough, and no one can ever take that away from you. So remember that, okay? Okay. I feel like I can cry right now. This is a lot of emotions happening. But again, I hope you are all having a beautiful day, week, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time on another episode of The Light of Insight. Bye. Mata ne.